Hello everyone and welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I am Brock and here with you today. Good to see all of you guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you're making the best out of it wherever you're at, whatever the case may be. Kurt, it looks like you got a reminder, but you didn't have to worry about all that dang fluoride. How about that? Richard Borba, good to see you. Welcome in, much love. Awesome Bill. Good to see you. Much love. God bless you too. Lynette, good to see you in here with us today. Much love to you. Glad to see you being able to join us so much. That's awesome. Spartan 11, T. Luke, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Hope everybody's doing well. We are going to try to... I have a lot of stuff up here and I don't really know what it is. I might have it in some kind of order. And maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Rare Breeds, much love. Don... my eyes are bad. I got to get up closer to the screen. Tetatron, good to see you. Much love. We have I'll show y'all that in a minute because last night's replay is an awesome one. I think I watched part of it actually, and that don't happen very often. Alan F. and YouTube sucks. Absolutely. That's why I stream most every night at D Live, and I try my best to get here to YouTube. And it's really mainly because we can just have a little more fun over there. And granted, in this day and age with everything going on, I don't really think I'm going to wake many people up. I mean, here, one-on-one, it's easier. But here, it's really more about having a place where us woke folk can get together, have a good time, have a prayer group, and just try to make the best out of life, right? Data Junkie, morning to you. Much love. Hoop D's. Hello to you. Welcome in. Y'all, I just had a sandwich, so y'all apologize. I got a little indigestion going on. Alan F. Hi from South Florida. Well, welcome in to the Fallout Shelter in Central Mississippi. Good to see you. Much love to you all. Y'all all coming on in here, and while everybody's coming in, I'm going to try to get the screen set up for the screen share. Go ahead and kind of get an idea of what's going on. We're going to go through our phones spying on us to insurance companies not covering frequency problems and freedom in Sturgis and all types of crazy things. Woke folk like that term. Hey, Sister Golden Hair, good to see you. It's something that I've said a couple times, but I've never said it on a stream. And my son said, you ought to use that sometime. And it just popped out then, so sometimes it just works out. Woke folk. All right, let's see. We'll just get started pretty quick. It's all the same over and over. You remember when conspiracy theorists had to hunt for their information instead of it just being slamming them in the face all the time? I remember that. You had to find old VCR tapes and old books, and you really had to dig to find any information on the little green men. Yeah, they call us crazy. I wear the crazy badge proudly. Not a problem for me at all, because in the end, it's us crazy folks that are actually looking out for everyone. And even if we're wrong from time to time, we do it with the best intentions of letting everybody know what's going on. Believe, good to see you. Hello, welcome in. Much love to you. All right, let's see. I got that going, packing. I'll be so glad when you get out of the Cali area. I know it'll make you so much happier. Okay, let's just, there's a lot of stuff here for me to cover and get off the plate. So let's just get after it. I'll try to keep up with the chat some. I'm trying to get a little better at that. One of these days, I'm going to, Jesus, that's right, absolutely. And a big rebel of the time, if people don't forget that. Yeah, he didn't like that organized religion very much either, did he? Yeah, religion divides. You know, nobody's out there jumping on Buddhists, are they? No, nobody's out there trying to take out Buddhists and all that. That ought to tell you something. They have a fear of the other. Okay, let's see. All right, now I'm on the page with y'all. Let's see, there's a U.S. government contractor embedding tracking software in the apps of millions of smartphone users. Welcome in, Prince Arcane. Crazy about, but absolutely. Absolutely. Much love to you. Welcome in, welcome in. What you need to know. And just for the record, this is not really a conspiracy theory website. This is a technology website where you can click up here for VPNs, iPhone 11, Apple Watch, Nintendo Switch, AirPods Pro. This is not crazy Fallout Shelter conspiracy theories.com. So, Sharp and Twisted Betty Sue. I like that name. Welcome in. Much love. Oh, coming on down. That's according to a new Wall Street Journal report. Wall Street Journal. It says that hundreds of millions of users were tracked worldwide as a result. Larry K., good to see you again, brother. Welcome in. Much love. A damning new Wall Street Journal report says a small U.S. government contractor embedded software in over 500 apps, tracking millions of people worldwide. According to the report, a small U.S. company with ties to the U.S. defense and intelligence communities has embedded its software in numerous mobile apps, allowing it to track the movements of hundreds of millions of mobile phones worldwide, according to interviews and documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Now get this. Hey, woke believer, there's some of those woke folks we was talking about, Lynette. Look, it's a woke folk, woke believer. I like that name too. Much love to you. Welcome in. The name of this company is Anomaly 6. Let that sink in for a minute. The tracking, dadgum, the boom, it just left my head. The tracking software is from a company called Anomaly 6, LLC. Apparently boasting in marketing material that it was able to draw location data from more than 500 mobile applications from its own software development kit embedded directly in some apps. The report says Anomaly 6 is a federal contractor that provides a global location data to branches of the U.S. government and private sector clients. Now, it told Wall Street Journal that it restricts the sale of U.S. mobile phone movement data only to the private sector, however. Yeah, right. Boo and Little, welcome in, much love. See you there, trying to keep up with both. The report further claims numerous U.S. government agencies have deemed the scheme lawful. The firm's capabilities were described in documents prepared for military officials that were reviewed by the Journal. The company also explained its business practices in a recent briefing to the office of Senator Ron Wyden, whose staff then described it to the Journal. The Oregon Democrat has been conducting a probe into the sale of American location data. Now here's the thing, guys. Every time something like this pops up and they go, oh, well, this may be a little iffy on the law side for people's privacy and rights, which, just for the record, privacy is a myth. You have no rights. Welcome to the United Socialist Soviet Republic of America. Just saying, you know, is what it is. I call it like I see it, not how it's printed. Now, when you see an article like this and people may get in a little uproar, they'll go in there and they'll change a little something in their policy. And then they'll give you a 400 sheet, we've made a change in our policy. Do you accept or do you not? Well, I'm as guilty as the next person. I'm not going to read it, and I want to use my phone when I want to use my phone. Not nearly as much as most people, but when I need it, right? Everybody's the same way. But I realized once I started doing this here that there was no privacy for me at all. And I also worked on government facilities as a contractor, so I have the biometric DOD ID and all that. I'm out anyway. I messed up about 14 years ago. The state got my DNA. I'm stuck, so I'm just trying to give y'all a little info here. When they do that, you've got an option to opt out, delete the app, which that really works, right? Or you have the option to click I agree. Everybody clicks I agree. If y'all are a South Park fan, remember how that went for them. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. It was really disgusting, but my son showed it to me, and it's okay. Now, Yeah, then they vote on a Sunday at 3. That's funny. Tetragrammaton, we are all on the list. And if we're not on that list, we aren't trying hard enough, in my opinion. When you click that I agree, it gives them the right to do everything they want to do. And then this is no longer even a feasible thing. Wading through the legal... Yeah, it's a headache. And nobody does it. They just click I agree because they want to use their phone. Okay, I get that. That's what we're programmed to do, and it's hard to break that programming sometimes, even for us woke folk. Sometimes us on this end, we don't like to talk about that, but it's just truth. You want truth? There's your truth. All of us have places where we fall weak in this society, no matter what, because we've come accustomed to lazy. I work hard, but I still have my lazy quirks at times. I'm not going to read those 400 pages. And when I want to send somebody or post that I'm going live on Twitter and they've got an update, I usually don't read the update. You know what I'm saying? Furious Cabbage, Plateau, good to see you. Welcome in, y'all, much love. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm trying to find my cursor and it's over there on the wrong screen. It's one of those days, everybody. I'm just glad to be here. Ann Walsworth, good to see you. Good to see you. Much love. Yeah, during the week, it's really tough on me right now to get on here during the day, and then I do D-Live at night, so I didn't have to work today. I banged my toe up pretty good a few days ago, and I'm trying to get it well. Most of my time's been spent with my legs propped up. Shh. Now that the dumb... Yeah, that's right. All right, and that's where this goes. So this company... Retired military, started a company because they understood how to use this data, how to gain this data, probably all through the laboratories that was paid for by the taxpayer. That be you and me and everybody else that pays taxes. And for those of y'all that say I never pay taxes, I really don't know how you got out of that. I know some people that tried and they did a little time. So I don't tell anybody not to pay their taxes. Just that's one thing, you kind of get it through. And yeah, we're getting screwed, we're getting robbed, but it is what it is. Indigo from the UK, welcome in, much love from the United States in the central heart of Mississippi. All right, now what do we go to next in the tracking? I think I have it all lined up together. Now I got this from the Last American Vagabond, traveling the world, writing what the people need to know. I watch T-Lab on D-Live when I can catch him. I really like to listen to him. Seems like a really sharp guy. Granted, when I use these people's stuff, I don't know any of these people personally. Keep that in mind. I get asked that a lot, and I don't know any of them. Period. Recently released documents from the Department of Homeland Security reveal that a coalition of tech companies are interested in the surveillance capabilities of contact tracing apps. Huh. Well, we just heard about Anomaly 6, right? God bless you and your toes. Thank you, Believe. Contact tracing is a... Wait a minute. I skipped the whole paragraph there. As political leaders across the United States begin to make use of contact tracing apps, the public is promised that privacy has flown out the window. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That says it's being considered. I apologize. That happens sometimes. However, newly released documents reveal that a private task force made up of big tech companies has expressed interest in surveillance capabilities of such apps. Really? I mean, didn't they write a book about that many, many decades ago called 1984? Yeah, I think it was coming. Oh, YouTube sucks. This from the UK too. Look at that. The Fallout shelter's going worldwide. Humble disciples. Good to see you and much love at work. Well, awesome. Glad you're in here hanging out with us. Contact tracing is a process of identifying individuals. I'm sorry, I just can't keep my own words out of this. Who may have come in contact with an infected person. Okay, they didn't even say COVID right there. Just an infected person. What are you infected with? Are you infected with truth? Well, maybe so. If you're infected with truth, we need to contact trace you. If you're infected with, I don't know, just say you don't like your government and you don't really know the truth. But we're going to track you too. If you've got the cold, well, we might as well track you as well because, we can't have people getting the cold, or COVID, I'm sorry, the coronavirus. Collecting information about their contacts and then tracing the contacts of infected individuals. It sounds like we're tracing some type of virus in a computer program, right? All my files have been infected, and we need a contact tracing app to find them all. You know, like virus protection. Now, who started that? Oh, yeah, Billy Gates. The one who wants to stick genetically modified things into everybody's arms. I will show you all that in a minute. Okay, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been calls for... they finally said COVID-19. There have been calls for digital contact tracing using cell phones to notify individuals when they may have come in contact with an infected person or visit a hot spot of infection. Digital contact tracing apps use Bluetooth to track encounters. A move, right there, turn your Bluetooth off. Love Pugs, good to see you, much love. Hope everything is well. A move which is supposed to anonymize actual location data. Other forms of contact tracing apps involve the use of location data gathered from cellular networks. Critics believe the apps will be used to expand government surveillance. Duh! That's all that the government wants. The government, listen, the government is really not out for anything unless it can be weaponized. The military is to make weapons to protect the country. That became the military-industrial complex, which became a way to produce weapons to make money. The new documents were released by the Office of Science and Technology Policy in response to a Freedom of Information Act request by the Electronic Privacy Information Center. Epic, really. You can't make that stuff up. The records show that a tech sector task force closely aligned with the White House sought to aggregate non-clinical location data for disease surveillance, including cell phone location data, Uber trip data, and Google search data. To assist researchers at the CDC, academic institutions, and other public health officials capture non-clinical location data. They try to make it sound so good, right? We care so much about you that we want to make sure you're safe, while all the time we're going to keep your anonymity and all of that. You know, we're going to make sure we take care of you. Didn't they tell the Indians that right before they took their guns and marched them down the Trail of Tears? Or Native Americans, I'm not really the most politically correct guy. Can we defund the government? I wish we could. I think that time has came and gone, to be honest with you. Look, Kirk said it right there, because they care a lot. Great minds think alike. Or fluoridated minds think alike. I don't know. Whew. Okay, we're going to move on forward. There's a lot of stories to go over, but you get the idea what's kind of going on here. Now, the next article, and all these links are in the description. No, I don't think I left any out. If you come across one that's out and you send a message, I will do my best to get it in there. There's a lot of them, and I think I got them all. So now let's look at End of the American Dream. On August 3rd, 2020, put out an article called Your Cell Phone or Your Phone is Spying on You. And companies are generating secret surveillance scores. Surveillance scores based on that information. Now, let me ask y'all a question before we even go any further right here. We've got the surveillance scores. What does that sound like? That sounds like China's social credit score, don't it? Oh, wait a minute. Well, see, we're limiting people that can go to sporting events. We're limiting people that can go to church. We're limiting people that can go to dinner. We're limiting people that can go anywhere. It's only a matter of time before they use the COVID-19 to bring about a complete social credit score in the United States where they go, hey, you can't go eat here unless your social credit score is here or here, because you can't go and you're just not, you don't have a good enough credit score to go in this place. You're right, it's already here. When you see these type of articles, it's here, right? And that's what I'm saying. Woke people, we see it, we know what's happening, and that's really all I'm doing is just showing you where they're telling it to us. We know it's going on, and not many people are just waking up. You might get them one-on-one, but it's really hard to do on YouTube. When they come to these places, they almost have their mind made up when they get here. Well, Kurt, actually, NASCAR has opened up their tracks to quite a few spectators at a lot of their races. They allowed 5,000 people at Talladega. I think they allowed right at 10,000 people at New Hampshire, and they've been working in places like that. And in Sturgis right now, there's almost 500,000 people. And they said, well, I'm not going to do it, but they basically gave a number 1 to the COVID and said we're going for freedom. That's coming up here in just a minute. Now, this is some truth right here. Nothing that you do on your phone is private. There you go. Hey, I'm not wearing mine either. I've been kicked out of a couple places. Like I've told y'all, the only place I wore my mask was when I got to visit my mother in the hospital. And I'm glad I did it. I have no regrets about it. I will just tell you straight up. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have got that opportunity. And that was not the time for me to make that fight. And I got to spend the last 2 weeks of her life visiting with her. And now I'll tell you that. There's a time and place when to fight. And then there's a time and place when not to, in my opinion. If you got a family member that you need to go be with at that time, you know what? You might bite the bullet and go for it. But when I walked out the last time, I walked out without my mask on, and the security guard said, you can't be in here without a mask. I said, I walked all the way down without it, and I'm not coming back. And I walked out the door. I didn't sign out. I didn't give them nothing, and I just went, boom. Oh, fur babies. Love on them fur babies, rare breeds. We got to love them animals. God gave them to us for a reason. In this day and age, most of us have become extremely dependent on our phones. Now, I do like my phone. I'm not going to lie. I used to like it a lot more. Now, I'm not dependent on it. I leave it laying around and don't go anywhere. I don't take it with me. And since I'm not communicating with my mother that much, it's really not something I keep on my mind that much. Jan, not asleep. The vaccine is the mark of the beast. I believe that. Absolutely. We got so much that if you go back, I've actually got a stream called Connecting the Quantum Dots, where we went over quantum dot technology and things like that. And we go over a lot of the technological information. I went over on DLive trying to stream there every night. And right now they keep my replays for like 28 days. So I'm going to try to share that with you in a little while. Y'all try to not let me forget it. I don't have a timeline today. This may be a really long stream. Rent-a-cop. Rent-a-cop. I love that term, Blow Pugs. Rick Swain, good to see you. Much love. Leah Nebus, welcome in. Much love. Hey, I'm fixing to blow y'all's mind. I'm not going to tell you the virus isn't real. We've been dealing with coronaviruses since at least the 60s. It's real. It's really real. There's a virus going around. The pandemic is fake. The pandemic is the hoax. COVID-19 is the hoax. That is what's going on. There's people that are sick from the flu, and it may be a little more aggressive flu than normal. But it happens normally. It also happens when places like the Wuhan Virility Institute, I think I said that right, mess with it. And I don't know if that's coming up today, but it'll be coming up probably tonight at DLive. I have some material on that. I just don't know if it's up today. I walked through our hospital and it's empty. The only people that I have seen locally that have been attacked worse by the flu this year are the Choctaw Indians. And I do have a person that is extremely close to me in my life that works with a lot of them in the casino on the reservation. And they came home from work the first day back the other day and said, wow, half of my people are gone. Now, half of their people's like 3 or 4. But that's still half of that department. So there was some young people that died from the flu in their middle ages. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's just the flu. The vaccine is going to be the real kicker when it comes out. Oh, where was I at? Ah, here it goes. Your phone knows what you like. It knows the sound of your voice. It knows where you have been. It knows where you have shopped. It knows your internet searches. And it knows what you like to do in your free time. In fact, your phone literally knows, I'm going to put my words in here, more about you than you know about yourself at this point. And as you will see below, there are a lot of companies out there that use information collected from our phones to create secret surveillance scores that are used for a whole host of alarming properties. It's really important to understand that your phone is a surveillance device. Well, I think we all get that. And now they're just telling us. Let's scroll on down here. And now all these links are in the description. A lot of these are long articles. I suggest you go read them for yourself, whatever your particular branch may be that you're interested in researching. I mean, this stuff just kind of popped up for me. I don't even have to search for it anymore. I have to turn things down. How's that for conspiracy theories? Operating in the shadows of online marketplace, specialized tech companies you've likely never heard of are tapping vast troves of our personal data to generate secret surveillance scores. CareLogic and TransUnion say that scores they peddle to landlords can predict whether a potential tenant will pay the rent on time. Social credit score, be able to absorb rent increases or break a lease. Large employers use HireVue, a firm that generates an employability score about candidates by analyzing tens of thousands of factors. Social credit score, they're just not telling you it's a social credit score. Oh, brand name retailers purchase risk scores from retail equations. See, this has been going on for a while. They're just now putting it out here to us and going, hey, everybody, look, you're being scored. You better act right. Totalitarian government. But you're free, right? Go do what you want. But put your mask on when you do so. Captain Rankin, it's all about the data. Absolutely. We are in the data age. If I missed anybody, welcome in. Much love to you all. I appreciate you all being here hanging out. Because at the end, we do the most important thing, and we pray together to our Father in heaven as a group. Each mistake that you make will be recorded on your phone, and that information will be stored and used against you. Pay attention. For the rest of your life. I know that all sounds very strange, but without a doubt, we are living in very strange times. My advice would be to only use your phone when necessary, but of course the vast majority of the population will never listen to such advice. No, they will not, and it's still our job to pray for them, love them, even though they don't see that the boot is on their throat. And I'm going to say that my social credit score is probably like my regular credit score, love pugs. It's in the toilet. That's probably where the mask I should be wearing is at too, right? It should be wearing. Try to use their terminology back on them a little bit. And now we move on. Did you know this about insurance companies? Jan not asleep, sharp. Okay, I think I got y'all. Welcome in, much love. I can't see real good, y'all, so YouTube chat's really tiny for me, even on the computer. On the screen I got it on. If I mess your name up, I apologize. It's not because I can't read, it's because I can't see. The one that I'm reading in front of me is on like a 42-inch television that we used to watch television on till we quit using television. And I'm using it now as a computer monitor. Learn from Montegraph. Hey, I'll tell y'all something. When I get the chance, I really like to watch Montegraph. That's a smart man, y'all. Really smart. I don't know what that is, Rare Breeze. I'm actually showing a really good stream today, so it must be something going on in Florida. They must be zapping y'all pretty good. Oh, if y'all missed it, I put out a chemtrail video today. First one in a while. I even named it. I remember why I started this channel. I was with my wife early this morning. She had a meeting to go to with somebody. And when we were leaving, I seen the plane and I dipped off in the parking lot. Pulled out my camera. I didn't even set it up on a tripod. It's really shaky and all that. So, but I got it in there. I got the belly sprayer. I got him turning it off and on. Got lucky. That was a good one to not have caught any in a while. And the only one I've seen today. Now, I walked outside a while ago after setting up this stream, and the skies are white. So, there's no chance of seeing anybody right now. Now, this is not a conspiratorial website either. This is called 5G Technology News. I suggest you grab this link from the description. You know what? I'm going to put this link in the chat. And you probably get to hear it before you see it because the delay, I'm slow on getting it there. Listen, guys, this is 5G technology. Something. Get it back in a second. 5GTechnologyNews.com. Insurance companies keep quiet about EMF exclusion clause. This came out on May the 11th, 2020. OU812, good to see you on the YouTube today. Much love, brother. Most global insurers have chosen to exclude radio frequency coverage from their policies. More so since 2013, when AM Best, the leading insurance rating agency, published a report stating that it has now been determined that about 250,000 cell phone antenna workers per year who are in close contact with cell phone antennas are at high risk of thermal ionizing effects from RF radiation, including eye damage, infertility, and cognitive impairments. Now, Alice White, you have seen the aluminum, barium, and strontium canisters. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Welcome in. Much love. Good to see you. I haven't actually seen a canister. I seen some of the tests that were going on in, I can't remember the name of the base. It's in Louisiana. Shreveport. I can't remember what it's. I seen them testing this stuff years ago when I had to go take a supervisor test for Navy Facility Army Corps of Engineers, and they actually made a cloud that wasn't more than 80 feet over the runway, and then they zapped it with their NEXRADs and stuff, and they spread it out, and it just hovered there for hours. I got to stand there and watch that because I got through with my test really quick. I had taken it before, same freaking test. When I handed it in, the guy said, "You sure you done?" I'm like, "Yep." He scored it perfect out the door, and I had to wait on everybody else. That is interesting about the containers, because we absolutely know that that's what they add into the fuel to make these. And it actually makes the fuel more combustible. It gives them more hydrocarbons for condensate nuclei to produce the ice crystals that can be manipulated with the frequencies. And when they do land on the ground in the form of a powdered aerosol hydrocarbon, they become more flammable to the ground, which means when a dew hits it on the ground, it lights up the ground and sets it on fire. If you go back and start rereading Revelations, you can almost find out that everything happening in Revelations can happen because man starts geoengineering the planet. AM Best analysis did not consider non-thermal ionizing effects, but have also shown to be hazardous to human health on deeper cellular levels. Mike is the weatherman. I like Mike. I've learned a lot from Mike. Y'all hear all that come through just then? That was all straight Mike Morales right there. I did look it all up, though, to make sure that it was correct information. Leah Niebles, welcome in. Much love. I hope I'm catching everybody, because it rolls fast sometimes, then it slows down. So, and I'm trying to get better at going back and forth. When I first started doing this, there was no chance of me even reading a chat. There was one clothing company I talked with. No, he's not really a weather reporter. He's just really great at doing it. Can't trust a real weather reporter. They're just reading a Raytheon script. Yeah, I said that to somebody today. I said, you know, if this was real, that mask on the ground, you'd have to have on a suit that had, I'm getting all off guard. Y'all, yeah, you get it. I'm with y'all. Yeah, we're all infected. We're infected because they've been spraying it out of airplanes. And then they turn on the 5G and we get the coronavirus effects. Nobody's really, the flu, when you get the flu and then they turn all this on, oh my gosh. Now it's going to enhance the flu. When they hit 60 gigahertz, it's going to really start to boil your cells, increase your cancer rating, and kill you. Or, as your overlords say, show us your papers and do as we will. And for all of those that don't believe that they're modifying the weather, I watched an 1.5 to 2 hour Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation Weather Modification Board advisory meeting yesterday on YouTube live. And the video is still up. I recorded it, so I have an edit of it too. As published on Business Insurance in 2007, the safety of electromagnetic radiation has been debated for many years within the insurance industry, as far back as 1984, as wireless communication grew in popularity. The scientific community has always been split on the opinion. The scientific community has always been split on the opinion of whether wireless radiation poses a health risk or not. No, that's not true. The scientific community that does not receive government grants and government money and all of that will tell you a little more truth. The scientific community from other countries, where they don't care if they kill their own people or tell their people they're killing their own people, tell you that it poses a health risk. All of your scientists that work for the government of the United States of America, Rome Laboratories for the Army or the Air Force, or any of those type of organizations, they tell you what the lobbyists, what the 5G companies, what the government wants them to tell you. That way they don't lose their funding in those large government grants to continue to do their work that has absolutely no basis in science. But yeah, EMF exclusion clause in your health insurance. If you have health insurance, you might want to check into that and ask them why. And then ask them, well, do you not think 5G technology is safe? Yeah. Radical Life made alive. Welcome in. Much love. Good to see you. I'm so glad you made it in. It's good to see you again. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about some freedom-loving people. I did a whole stream on this, just about it, on D-Live, but I'm not going to keep it that long right here. Here's you a group of people that give a big middle finger to the coronavirus and the governments. From the New York Times, if we get it, we choose to be here. Despite virus, thousands converge on Sturgis for huge rally. Tens of thousands of motorcyclists roared into the western South Dakota community on Friday, lining Main Street from end to end for the start of the annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Absolutely they did. The start of the annual rally kicked off despite objections from residents. I'm going to say that's probably a little bit of a lie there too. And if they did, it might have been a few. It could have been any other past summer rally in Sturgis, with herds of RVs, bikers, and classic cars converging for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. 10-day affair that was expected to attract 250,000 enthusiasts, about half the number who attended last year. But a figure that puts it on track to be among the country's largest public gatherings since the first coronavirus cases emerged. Screw COVID, I went to Sturgis, reads a black t-shirt amid a sea of Harley-Davidson and Trump 2020 outfits, sported by the throng of people walking down along Main Street. Their gear did not include face masks, and social distancing guidelines were completely ignored. Oh my goodness. We will absolutely do that, love pugs. South Dakota is among several states that did not put in place a lockdown, and state officials have not required residents to wear masks, giving attendees who rode in from outside the state fewer restrictions than they may have had back home. Attendance on Friday was on par with previous years. It's kind of a typical rally. Indeed, fears that the rally could be a super spreader event did not appear to scare riders from attending. No, I guess they didn't. Because bikers live under the term ride and live free or die. Free or die. You know, America used to have that terminology, live free or die. Now we have a virus with a 99.7 recovery rate. It's, oh my gosh, hide behind your chair, under your desk, and put your mask on. Don't get close to nobody. Oh my gosh, we're all going to die. Ah! You get that? Health experts say the coronavirus is blah, 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 blah. Let's go. This is the first day of the bike rally. Let's see what they're saying about it now. The antibody test in Sturgis gives peace to rallygoers. What? What does that mean? Well, it says it's probably the largest gathering, we know that. Despite no mask mandates and difficult social distancing situations, bars are packed, concerts are crowded, and the streets are busy, with attendance numbers comparative to previous rallies. The South Dakota Department of Health and the CDC state that large gatherings, and especially gatherings at bars. Why at bars? I mean, are drunk people more susceptible to spreading COVID than a sober person? I mean, if that's the case, why are we not making sure all the bars are closed? Church is okay? I mean, you're not hanging all over everybody in church, right? No, it's all about control. It's about that social credit. It's about finding what people do and what we can get them to do. Oh, but in those large rally gatherings, masks are unpopular. Okay, now here. And tucked away in Chevrolet Liberty parking lot on the western edge of Sturgis, there's a sign, not of the rally, but of the pandemic. Here, rally goers can buy a 5-minute antibody test for $45. Now, let's think about that real quick. 250,000 people, let's say 10% of them buy the test. That's 25,000 people at $45 a pop. Wow, I'm usually better at math than that. Let's say it was 50. Let's just say $50 a pop for doing math. And 25 50s are like, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But here, check this out. McVeigh says that the test has a 97% accuracy and have yet to have anyone test positive. Really? We're worried about a super spreader event. They have a test that they say has 97% accuracy, and they have yet to have anyone test positive out of a group of 250,000 people. You know, I said when I started this stream I wasn't going to scream today. I was going to try to hold myself back and at least save my throat. It don't look like that's happening, does it? And this on a good story. Oh, yeah, that's so right, Indigo. That's so right. Oh, okay. Now, let's go to a little conflicting news. Principia Scientific International. Neurosurgeon. Face mask pose serious risk to healthy individuals. I got a little something to play for y'all real quick. I know most of y'all have seen it, but I just want to play it because it's fun for me to do so.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything.
I just want an answer to the question. Do the protests increase the spread of the virus?
I don't have any scientific evidence that anything.
I don't have any scientific evidence or anything. And masks don't do nothing but quell the hearts of the anxious people. There's your dear Fauci, who now says, you must wear a mask and social distance or we're all gonna die. Well, buddy, maybe it's just time we have that little chat with life. Maybe if you had your heart right with where it needed to be right, you wouldn't be scared of death. You would understand that death is not an end, but a beginning. Oh yeah, and maybe you ought to see a patient, because not seeing a patient in 30 years, you really ain't much of a doctor anymore, not a medical one. Neurosurgeon Dr. Russell Blaylock warns that not only do face masks fail to protect the healthy from getting sick, but they also create serious health risks to the wearer. The bottom line is that if you are not sick, you should not wear a face mask. The same thing Fauci said in February. As businesses reopen, many are requiring shoppers and employees to wear a face mask, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you can go read this whole article. We know that the face masks are not healthy. I've been trained by OSHA. I've been trained by the Army Corps of Engineers. And I have to make sure, well, not anymore. I'm not doing that now, but I used to have to make sure that my employees were safe with the masks that they were wearing, that the atmospheric pressure in the room and the oxygen levels reached a certain level, and if they dropped below a certain level, they had to be out. They had to get fresh air. And if I didn't, I would be responsible for so many fines it could have shut the company down. So we get to that. This is a neurosurgeon that says masks pose serious risks to healthy individuals. But you got this National City Councilwoman who recommends attempted murder charges for some not wearing face masks. This comes from the Washington Examiner. Hey, Applied Knowledge, welcome in. Good to see you. Atom Bomb, good to see you. Much love to you all. I hope I'm catching everybody. Glad to see you all here today. Got a great audience and crowd, and I'm so glad it's going to be a great prayer group at the end. Charlotte Johnson, welcome in, much love. The more we get here for prayer, the better. You know, prayer in groups is powerful, very powerful. And I have some requests right now for the children and our veterans and people that are suffering. That anyway, this crazy Sharon Hurt. Her name is Hurt. Really? Sharon Hurt. Oh. A Nashville, Tennessee councilwoman wants those who don't wear face masks during the coronavirus pandemic to be charged with attempted murder. I did some real problems back in the early 2000s that I did a little big boy time out. And, my goodness, now I don't wear my mask. They want me arrested for attempted murder? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this woman? Does she not like to breathe oxygen? Does she love breathing carbon dioxide? Maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying to slow down the effects of climate change by us not exhaling so much CO2 into the atmosphere. If we breathe it back in over and over, we'll just frickin' die, and we won't have to worry about that carbon credit, will we? The rabbit hole goes deep. Oh, legislation, blah, 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 murder, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we get the point. You're a crazy nutbag, woman. A crazy nutbag. How about that? And moving on. I'm going to revisit this article probably just about every time I do a stream now, just so I can make sure you keep it on your mind that Forbes says, don't do your own research when it comes to science. Oh, why? Why not? Because we might find out the truth that you're lying to us, that doctors and scientists who are bought and paid for by the government give us something totally different than doctors and scientists who aren't? Huh. Well, you know, I don't do my research on Facebook. I do my research at, I don't know, let's say the New England Journal of Medicine. I watch what Dr. Fauci actually has to say during those boring meetings. Just to get that one clip that he goes, well, I did, and then he goes, ah. Yeah. They try to make you think that everybody doing research is doing research at Facebook and Twitter, and they don't look it up themselves. Well, most of my stuff came from the CDC, the World Health Organization, the New England Journal of Medicine. These news articles just keep falling in my lap. Just what it is. Research both sides and make up your own mind. It's simple, straightforward, common sense advice. Absolutely. And when it comes to issues like vaccinations, climate change, and the novel coronavirus that we try to mandate, it can be dangerous, destructive, and even deadly because we're mandating it. The technique that most of us use to navigate most of our decisions in life, gathering information, evaluating it based on what we know, and choosing a course of action can lead to a spectacular failure when it comes to scientific matter. And by not knowing this, and you have something stuck in you that you don't know what it is, can lead to spectacular failure when it comes to injections. If you don't believe that, look back to every vaccine that's ever come out and find the damage that it has done. I'm not, you know, And here's what they tell you. They separate you right here. They separate you and try to make you a peon versus an elite. The reason is simple. Most of us, even those of us who are scientists ourselves, that is where they're picking out the doctors and scientists who don't agree with their narrative. Lack the relevant scientific expertise needed to adequately evaluate that research on our own. Really? Well, I've got a little time on my hands, so I adequately research that stuff and find out exactly what's happened in the past through the medical journals and through Bill Gates' blogs. I've actually used Bill Gates' own blog for truth. He is tied to the Build Your Dream Corporation that Governor Newsom gave $1 billion to for masks. Yeah, and he put it in his blog. So don't do your own research. Just trust that when Oxford Academic puts out adding lithium to drinking water for suicide prevention. Oh, wait a minute. Did I read that from crazyman.com, or did I read that from Fallout Shelter or some nutbag? No, wait a minute. That's Oxford Academic. Really? Oxford Academic says, recent observations associate naturally occurring trace lithium in groundwater with significantly lower suicide rates. Yeah, and I bet if you look at that study that have lithium in the drinking water, the naturally occurring, and they say naturally occurring aerosols in the air too. Yeah, but they're coming out of airplanes, but they're naturally occurring. It has been suggested that adding trace lithium to drinking water could be a safe and effective way to reduce suicide. such as adding fluoride to the water, was a safe way to create stupidity and kill your memory. Now with lithium and fluoride, they will have your brain such a mush that when they give you the vaccine and they shoot you with the 5G, you'll be totally controllable or rolled up on a ball in the ground. Water fortification with lithium for suicide prevention. This is the first link in the description. It's not first in what we've been going through because I wanted it right after. Don't do your own research. And this is from Oxford. Well then. I don't know what to say. I mean, Oxford's so conspiratorial. Speaking of conspiratorial, guess who says there's a conspiracy theory out to get them? You're gonna love that. You're gonna love that. George Soros says there is an international conspiracy working against him. Calls Trump a confidence trickster. He also, and look, that's your big thing. George Soros says there's an international conspiracy. He also said the pandemic is an opportunity for change. Huh. Hey there, Denise Applied Knowledge. If there's anybody else new, welcome in. Much love to you all. I'm missing some of it. Lithium will not fix that. Absolutely not. I spent a lot of time last night on D-Live talking about suicide between children and veterans. And basically there was no news covered at all. I just give some life stories. And I'm going to show y'all where you can find those replays because I don't want to try to redo that stream. And with some of the music and videos that are in it, I'd have to chop it up too bad to bring it to YouTube. So I'm going to try to share that link with y'all in a little while. And all you guys that have prayer requests, make sure that you put them back in there at the end when we go over them. I want to try to make sure we get them all. Leftist billionaire George Soros, blah, 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 whatever. They probably all in it together anyway. I really don't care about that. But there are several strands of these conspiracies. One that I have built a foundation that actually covers most of the globe. That fits the idea of what was at the time called Judeo-Bolshevik global conspiracy. Now it's just called a Jewish... It's not a conspiracy! Before the riots, before the pandemic, you dumped half of your stocks. And I don't mean half of a company. You dumped half of your stocks, all of the companies. And what's really funny is if you go look at the companies that Berkshire Hathaway are involved in, you know, the board that Bill Gates stepped down from the same day he stepped down from Microsoft, those businesses are burning to the ground. George Soros was a major owner, I think, of a Discount AutoZone. What was the first building we seen tore down by a cop? AutoZone. All of these companies have insurance. Guess what? Berkshire Hathaway holds the insurance companies that goes with most of these companies. There is no conspiracy theorist. You have said you want to take over the world. It's not a conspiracy theory when it's out of your mouth. And YouTube, I read an article. It's called a Jewish conspiracy out of the mouth of George Soros. I almost forgot his freaking name. How was that? Okay. Moving on. Weaponized wild. Scientists discover how to control locust swarms using single chemical. Researchers have discovered a possible secret weapon which could be used to not only keep the billion-strong hordes of locusts plaguing crops around the world at bay, but kill them off entirely. Which means if they can be controlled, they not only kill them off, but they can control them to do what they want. And usually, when they try to control them and they introduce a chemical, you know, like they did with genetically modified mosquitoes, it just goes haywire, because God has a plan, and this ain't it. Gigantic locust swarms have been threatening the food supplies of millions of humans in Asia and Africa since January, along with wildfires. Oh, I'm sorry, that just says wildfires. were the only two plagues humanity had to worry about at the time before the coronavirus spread across the globe. These swarms can devastate crops and turn day to night almost instantly, but now scientists have unlocked the secret to swarm behavior among migratory locusts, a pheromone called 4-vinyl-Vinyl-in-a-soul. That sounds like an old record. Vinyl and soul, you know what I mean? An old soul vinyl record. And just for giggles, let's remember those old records played at 33 1/3 RPM. Anyway, weaponized locusts, everyone. Everywhere. Wonderful times to be alive. I wouldn't have it any other way. God's got us all here for a reason. Now, let's check out. I think there's a few more up here. Actually, there's a lot more up here. It's going to be how long can I go? Everything is a conspiracy theory. That's funny. Oh, how about this? From lifesite.com. Doctors lay out plan to punish people who refuse coronavirus vaccine. There is no alternative. Social credit score. August 11th, 2020. A coronavirus vaccine should be mandatory, and tax penalties, higher insurance premiums, and denial of many government and private services ought to be considered for those refusing the shot, 3 doctors argued in USA Today on Thursday. I bet those doctors get their money from government allocated funds and not just from patients. While the measures that will be necessary to defeat the coronavirus will seem draconian, even anti-American to some. Yeah, it's anti-American. I like breathing oxygen. I like talking to my fellow Americans, shaking their hand, looking them in the face, and seeing that smile or frown, whichever the case may be, so that I know how to interact with them. We believe that there is no alternative. Simply put, getting vaccinated is going to be our patriotic duty. Getting vaccinated is going to be our patriotic duty. Well, let me tell you, when you come to my house to do your patriotic duty, the second man through the door might get me, but he's going to have to think real hard about it as he's stepping over the first one. You know what I'm saying? Wrote doctors Michael Lederman, Maxwell J. Mellman, and Stuart Younger. I'll probably look into those doctors a little bit when I get some time. There is no alternative to vaccine-induced herd immunity in a pandemic. They argued broad induction of immunity in the population by immunization will be necessary to end this pandemic. You know what? I think I'd rather just kick over. I'm done with your mandatory bull. I almost said it. I'm done with your mandatory. I'm through with mandatory. There is no freedom in mandatory when it involves sticking a steel needle in my arm. You know what? Just for giggles, check this out. This is out of his own mouth. And just for the record, vaccines don't go in a vein. So, listen very carefully to what he has to say, because vaccines go into a muscle that I'm familiar with and not into a vein.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. We're taking things that are,
genetically modified organisms, and
we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
In his own words. Conspiratorial, right? We just taking genetically modified material and shoot it right into the vein. It's not on the U.S. Day-to-Day article published August 6th is titled Defeat COVID-19 by Requiring Vaccination for All. It's not un-American, it's patriotic. Make vaccines free, don't allow religious or personal objections, and punish those who won't be vaccinated. Are we living in Germany in 1933? That sounds like something Hitler would say. All for the working man. Yes, woo! Free vaccines for all. Roll up your sleeve. We're going to jam it in your arm whether you like it or not. We're sending the military to do it. And not military doctors. We're just going to send the military. Which means if you don't take it, men with guns will help you take it. Oh my goodness gracious. Kermit the Frog looking. Oh man, alright, moving on. Now, with all this going on, keep in mind, none of this is supposed to be fearful for us, right? We know this is going on. We know we have an out. We know we have a Father in heaven that loves us, and we know this isn't the end. John 16:33. I have overcome the world. You're all going to have tribulations, but I've overcome the world. That's the reason we can be unfearful of death. So with that going on, people have been telling you for years, water, food, have what you need in backup. You got to have backup. People have been doing really great jobs of selling you things, putting it out there for you that just will. Marcus and Angie Cook, welcome in. Good to see you. Much love. Okay, I think Prince Arcane, much love. Applied Knowledge, much love. Welcome in, guys. Denise, if I missed you, much love. All right, trying to catch everybody. The reason you should have been doing this already. You should be prepared. We all know this is coming. If you didn't know this was coming, maybe you're waking up. I don't know. Agenda 21's been real for 30 years. With every passing day, it becomes more evident that COVID is just a code word operation which allows for the preparation of a major coming disaster that governments have been hiding from the general public all along. Now, I will buy into that. Now, what I will buy into, and I don't know that it's going to come up today, I'm hopefully come back on tomorrow with some other stuff because there's so much, is I have got some information based on, and I haven't checked it out. That's probably why I haven't got it up to look at real good yet. Based on Wuhan and things coming back out, I said in January that I thought this might be some type of bioweapon, and it still may be. It may just take the 5G to activate it. That's why the RNA vaccine takes a frequency to activate it. I'm not so sure that if y'all guys listen to Monty, he's talking about a bunch of different viruses for different countries. I'm not up to date on all that, and y'all know how I don't like to say things that I don't have some research on, because I'm not here to try to spread disinformation. I'm not here to try to lie to you. I'm not here to try to garner views. I'm here to try to share the information I find that I use to make decisions for my family. All of these links are in the description, but I will post it in the chat too. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Bam. There we go. Millions and millions of dollars have been spent by numerous states on disaster preparedness since April of this year and has been causing interruptions in the food chain. There's your interruptions in the food chain. However, government leadership and the mainstream media would like its citizenry to feel like they have caused a problem by clearing out stores from panic buying. Now why would they do that? Why would they want us to feel like we're the problem? A report from the Seattle Times, yeah, that was a rhetorical, funny question. A report out of the Seattle Times entitled, "From Peanut Butter to Applesauce, Washington State Stockpiles Tons of Food for the Need Ahead," reveals that the state has enough peanut butter alone stockpiled in a warehouse to make about 3 million sandwiches. And do you know how long 3 million sandwiches would last if they really run out of food? Barilla pasta boxes stretched to the ceiling, 100,000 in all. Large stacks of treetop applesauce, pancake mix, and canned green beans sit on pallets like soldiers waiting to be sent into duty. Yeah, there's soldiers sitting on pallets waiting to be sent into duty too. Since the coronavirus crisis first rocked Washington in March, nonprofits and state local agencies working in food assistance have been forced to draw a completely new roadmap for getting food to people who need it. Actually, that should say, getting food to the people whose social credit score allow them to get it. Because if you don't got the right social score, you're not going to get any of this food. Hey guys, y'all watching me and me, we don't have the right social score. We're on the wrong side of the fence. Get your food and your water together. Something's coming. Jesus said, have your oil in your lamps. Be like the wise virgins. Don't be running around crazy looking for your oil. Don't be running around crazy looking for your food, looking for your water. I think what that means is if you're doing that, you may get goofed up. You may end up taking some type of crazy mark, and you might just miss the bus. Not only did they scold us Applied Knowledge, they changed their recommendations on their websites from 6 months to 2 weeks. Every one of them. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Getting close. And it's a white screen. There we go. Russia approves Sputnik 5, a COVID-19 vaccine with little human testing. Now look, they say that he stuck this vaccine in his daughter. Well, that's one of two things. He's lying or he don't care nothing about his daughter. And I think we know the truth. I mean, short of me holding the needle and sticking it in his daughter's arm and seeing the needle made, seeing what went in it, watching them do every little I'm never going to believe that. That'd be like you saying Bill Gates vaccinated his children. That's crap. But what I caught funny was they named it Sputnik. This has nothing to do with the safety of humans. It's a race to just get something to the market first and get it in people. Russia named the newly approved vaccine Sputnik 4 in reference to the world's first artificial satellite. Must be the world's first artificial RNA recombinant type gene therapy vaccine that works with frequencies. Yeah, I'm not even going to read all that. You get the idea. Fast-tracked approval will not make Russia the leader in the vaccine race. Only fast-tracked approval will make America first in the vaccine race. You know, because it can't happen for other countries. We are so arrogant. Anyway, moving on. Sputnik 5, Russian vaccine. Like I say, the links are always there for this, so you can go read them. Oh, wow. Director of California Department of Public Health abruptly quits after computer system failure results in coronavirus data error. Oh, really? So you've been cooking the numbers, huh? You got caught? You had to run around, oh, I got caught. I better leave before something bad happens to me. California's public health director recently resigned after it came to light that the Golden State's official Wuhan coronavirus numbers, which she was in charge of managing, were wildly inaccurate due to an alleged computer system failure. Yeah, it's called input failure. The idiot behind the keyboard. The idiot in control. It's all called propaganda. It's all called control. It's called do what we say. Dr. Sonia Angel, of course her name's Angel, who had been in her position for less than a year, admitted in an email. These names are just cannot be real. Hurt, Angel. It's just not right. I mean, it's so. It's like Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning at Daytona right after his father got killed at Daytona. It's scripted. You know what I mean? And I'm a huge racing fan, but even I'm like, you get it? What we know is that as many as 300,000 infectious disease testing records were never logged into the state databases. The state's been making decisions on flawed information. Bottom line, our data systems failed. And this is the guy that's really in charge of it all. I swear. Oh, and I'm going to share this with y'all too, and I don't know that this link is in the description, but I just want to make sure that y'all are reminded of this every once in a while. Oh, that's too big to post in chat. Y'all are going to have to catch that from, okay. Y'all are going to have to catch that from the links in the description. The website is just too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete most of it. I'm going to give you their homepage and go from there. Give me just 1 second, guys. They are extremely proud of their directed energy technology here at Lockheed Martin. If you go to their YouTube page, they have all of their stuff on their directed energy. What the conspiracy theorists, the truthers, whatever the nut jobs, whatever we've been saying for years, they just put out and go, check out what we can do. This is who we are. This is what we do. Autonomy and artificial intelligence, directed energy, hypersonics, directed energy. New age defenses. Let's see, we click on that. We look down, we got trucks with lasers, we got Airplanes with lasers, shooting stuff from the sky. You know, kind of like in Beirut. Susie, good to see you. Much love. Leah Nebels, welcome in. Much love. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Adam Baum, all you guys, much love to you all. What else do we have? Let's see. Countering threats from space. High energy laser on a rocket. From the ship. Now we can envision complete laser weapon systems where we can engage multiple targets with the speed of light, with a very deep magazine that is small enough, powerful enough, and capable to be carried on tactical platforms. Yep. That's where we're at. And let's see, what else do they do? Oh, electronic warfare. You know, maybe like for, I don't know, electromagnetic spectrum signals such as radio, infrared, or radar to sense, protect, and communicate. You know, kind of like targeting individuals. Huh. They're putting this out to the public, which means it's been in development for 20 to 30 years. Now reckon who that got tested on. If you could paint the frequencies, we would not be able to see each other. This is a website that I go back to and remind people of a lot of the time. It's just important. Energy. There was something I was looking for. Maybe it's not here no more. Maybe they took that picture of them blowing the truck up off of the webpage. I don't know. I have to find it in an old stream. Anyway, now for a little weather modification geoengineering news, just to keep it balanced. If I can find it again. Let's go right here. I want to remind y'all if you've got people that don't believe in weather modification and the geoengineering, this article came out 11/14/2007, 13 years ago. How to avoid the next drought. In this article, I'm not going to read the article, I'll just tell you, in this article they started talking about moving away some from the silver iodide flares into hygroscopic flares to produce cloud seeding, to produce the rain, which now we know they can do without having a cloud. We heard that at the Weather Modification Board meeting 2 years ago. And on 11/14/07, there was also an article that came out, China leads the weather control race. You can take these articles, go check them out. The links are in the description. Basic cloud seeding concepts. Now, I may be going over these again at some time, but they're really old. It's really just goes back and shows how much weather modification has been done. Now, I would like to share something from General Electric from their webpage. It's a little short clip, and it was a man that they deemed the snowman. You know, just look at the date on the screen. This is how long this has really been going on at a successful rate.
This is a picture of the first cloud that we seeded back last November. Flying in a small Fairchild plane and putting dry ice from a small dispenser in the bottom of the plane, we put about 6 pounds of dry ice into this 4-mile cloud, and within a very few minutes saw long streamers of snow falling from the base of the cloud and evaporating into the drier air below. Under many conditions, of course, full-fledged snowstorms will be produced in this way. Nature at last has permitted to do a little something about the weather.
1947 from General Electric. We bring good things to life. Now, basic cloud seeding concepts from the year 2007, I believe. Crop duster turned cloud seeder disperses salt powder milled to 2.5 microns for optimal hygroscopic seeding over the Galilee in northern Israel. Wait a minute. So in America we spray silver iodide over the people, and in Israel we spray salt powder. Wonder which one of them is more natural for us to be breathing and eating. Neither one's probably safe. I'm just saying. Silver iodide was the there was a term I was going to use, but it just left me. Anyway, it was the main thing they used. Okay, now we got a thing going on that a lot of people don't know about. We having food shortages everywhere and the food going on. Right now, there is a situation of Fusarium oxysporum, which they have named race 4. They had to name it race, right? We got to have some type of race deal with it. And it's in Israel in the Middle East, and it's killing the Cavendish banana. Now, I did a little research on the Cavendish banana, and every banana tree that has grown that's a Cavendish banana comes from the United Kingdom, where it was originally born, and you take cuttings off the plant and remake it, whatever. I don't think that's cloning, but whatever it is. Well, now they have this Fusarium axiporium race 4, which is decimating the bananas down into South America, over into Africa, and a lot of places. Another food shortage problem. Now, I've got this in the description as well. Just a little for your information thing. Just keeping up with what's going on and spreading it to you. Now, this is from Scientific Reports, Nature.com. You know, very conspiratorial website. You know, no. Yeah. I like bananas too. That sucks. It's all genetically modified now, though, so I don't guess it matters. And now I'm going to give you the... I don't know. I thought about just calling this the pedophile news section. But I'm going to read you some actual news. Arrests from the Department of Justice. Philadelphia man sentenced to 45 years for sex trafficking children in Northeast Philadelphia. United States Attorney William M. McSwain announced that Artavius Horn, a.k.a. Low. So we got Low Horn, is 36, of Philadelphia. I can't make these numbers up, right? In September 2019, he was convicted at trial of 3 counts of sex trafficking minors by force, fraud, or coercion. During the week-long trial, the government proved that the defendant organized, operated, and led a sex trafficking venture based in and around Northeast Philadelphia between 2013 and 15. And in 2018, as part of the scheme, the defendant recruited, enticed, and maintained 3 minor children, one of whom was as young as 13 years old, to engage in commercial sexual encounters. Horn created internet advertisements for each of the victims on the website Backpage.com, and he transported them across state lines to New Jersey, New York, Washington, D.C., and Maryland. That's amazing. That's where all the high-powered bankers and politicians are, ain't it? For the purpose of engaging in commercial sex acts. Right there in the area of all the politicians, the bankers, the lawyers, the whatevers. Oh, and check this out. This retired Boston cop on August 13th, 2020 had a $100,000 bail set for him for a child rape case. How did you get bail? You should not be let out. You should have been put in there with whoever's going to beat your brains in for molesting a child. The way I feel about it, and I ain't holding it back. This freak right here, former Boston police officer, ought to have been decapitated on the scene. Retired Boston, I know, innocent till proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. I went through that. He's none of that crap. Retired Boston police officer Pat Rose hid his face in his hands as he was held on a $100,000 bail Thursday in a child rape case. Rose, the former president of the Boston Police Union. You think he's the only one in the Boston Police Union? He's probably one of them Masonic Boston Police Union people too. I don't know that for sure. I'm saying probably. He's accused of indecent assault on a child between 7 and 12 years old. It's the same child. That means it's been going on for 5 years. He pleaded not guilty at his arraignment, not guilty to several charges that include rape and abuse of a child and 5 counts of indecent assault and battery on a child under 14. Well, buddy, I wish you'd have got put in my cell when I was locked up. You wouldn't see trial. And I probably wouldn't get out, but I might be okay with that. Sometimes you do the right thing, and you just have to let the consequences fall where they are. And for the last one, it's not child, but grand jury charges Ed Buck with 4 additional felonies, included that he enticed victims to travel interstate to engage in prostitution. So we got 65-year-old Ed Buck, who's got some additional charges for trafficking. It's still human trafficking for sexual purposes. Another that I thought I seen it. All be hung in front of the courthouse. Absolutely. Build the gallows and do it the old style way. Kick the box out from under them. And let it be done. Let it be so. And that actually brings me to the conclusion of all of the crap that I had put up there today. Whew, how about that? I don't know about y'all, but I think I need a nap. Giving Fed agents authority, absolutely. The authors of your reality. Remember that. That's what that word means. Police are the enforcers of policy for the authorities that are the author of your reality. Guys, I know there was a lot of prayer requests and I don't remember them. I do remember because the first one I seen was love pugs, and I don't remember the rest of them that were typed in. Now's the time where we do the most important thing we do. What I just talked about, all of that, it really is inconsequential in the big scheme because we know what the end brings. And we know that we have support through our Savior. We know that we have eternal life through our Father in heaven, His only begotten Son dying on the tree that overcome the world. So when we get together in a large group like this and we have the ability to pray, it's really powerful and really important. There's a lot of channels that I see, and some of the guys, they do a good job. They bring out what they can, and they pray how they can, and that's awesome. The fact that they say anything means a lot to me. Then you have a lot of guys that preach, or I'm not going to say preach. You have a lot of guys that come on and they talk about the Father, and they talk about the power, and people begging for prayer in the chat, and they never pray. That kind of bothers me at times. And then there's some people that are so smart, and they can really break down everything in the Bible, but their arrogance I can't get past. Full house toes. I've had some problem with them feet there, believe. You have no idea. So I try not to be super preachy and just have us a prayer group. There's times that maybe it does, but after we pray, I'm going to share with y'all the D-Live links and stuff, and show y'all the screen, and I can help you with maybe the PC version, and I do mean, you know, like the computer, not politically correct, of getting to the replays. I'm going to scroll my chat up here and pause it. Well, thank you, Prince Arcane. Much love to you. Bob, 73333. Absolutely. Give us your firstborn. That ain't gonna happen either over my dead body. Okay. I'll try to remember these. I'm trying to get the chat. Oh yeah. Rare breeds cat. Let's just go right there. Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together today in this great time of fellowship, to be able to be with like-minded people, and to get the news and be able to see it and know what's going on in a setting that's conducive to us. I thank you for that blessing, Father. I thank you for the ability to be able to come here and still freely say what we want. Father, I know that it's you that protects these streams. It's you that keeps them from going down. The Holy Spirit being with us protects us all, gives us all strength. I ask you to continue to please continue to garner us all with the full armor of God daily, that we have the ability to stand up to those wiles of the devil, look him in the eye, grab those darts that are thrown at us and throw them back. And that means being used the word against him. Father, I thank you that you sent your only begotten Son to be brutally punished, whipped, hung on a tree, to die, to see Satan and face him and take the keys to death, hell, and the grave, to be resurrected by your power on the third day so that we could be saved, ask for healing, and come directly to you. Father, it's with that being known that we ask you to be with the owner of King Leon who passed away, to be with the cat of rare breeds. These animals are so important to a lot of us. They're some of the only true loving creatures that we have in our life. Humans, Father, help us. Humans are turning the wrong way in droves, and I ask you to help us to help that in some way. Father, I ask you to be with Jules. I know Jules needs lots of prayer, and everybody that we can have praying for Jules is very important. I appreciate all of these people that come here, Father, more than I think they know. I love them more than they know. I ask you to protect them and guide them, direct them, help them with their life, to talk to their family, to heal their infirmities, to take evil people out of their life that are causing them pain and misery. I especially ask you this for Jules, because I know what she's going through. Father, I ask you to be with Believe, to help Believe to get out of the situation that she's in, to get moved out and get everything together. I ask you to be with Rachel, who needs healing prayer. Father, whatever that situation is, you know it. I ask you to reach down, touch it, miraculously change what's going on, and let it be known that it was by your power so that maybe some can come to be saved through it. All of the children in the world right now, Father, you know how I feel about what I've seen in Lebanon, what we see about the sex trafficking, all of the children that are being trafficked on a daily basis. Father, I don't know what to ask for that. It breaks my heart, and the only thing I know to do is say, Daddy, please help. We need it now more than ever. Father, if I've missed anything, I pray that you see it and you know it. Anything that's in this chat, the people's unspoken requests, the typed requests, Rare Breed's dog, not the cat. I'm sorry. You knew that, though. Father, every request that we have in our Discord request, every request that comes across D-Live every night, and every request that comes through here, everybody has pain in their life. We are all going through those tribulations. You overcoming the world means that we can come to you and ask for help and your protection, even when evil is running rampant through the world. I'm asking for your hands to bubble over all of these people and protect them from that evil that's running the world right now. I pray that you continue to be our strength, that you continue to be our source of courage, and that you just guide us into everything that we should do, especially into being able to speak boldly about the gospel in you. None of this matters if people's souls aren't saved. Father, I ask you to help us to learn how to witness to other people, to bring people closer to you, and to teach them the truth about Jesus Christ and not a religion. Teach them that there's a Father in heaven who loved us enough that he sent his Son to redeem us. And I thank you for all of these things. In Jesus' precious name. Absolutely, OU812. Thank you, Lord, for your love and dedication to a bunch of sinners. Y'all, when I start to think about the children and what's going on, it makes me emotional. And I'm going to tell you, I don't apologize for my tears. I never have, I never will. It's a a sign of true emotion, I believe. What we really feel. What's really going on. Cinderloner, good to see you. Much love. Don't vax me, bro. There you are. I see you. Carrie Marna. I've told my D-Live group a lot. There's many people that you can go watch and listen to talk about the streams that and the news and the stuff that's going on. But it doesn't change the fact that we need to be together praying, and that's really the most important thing to me. Alright, screen sharing. Now, I'm not going to turn on any volume because I love you guys too. Miss Fallout loves you too. I know she does. She was up really early. I think she's asleep right now. I'm probably going to go take a nap too. We were both up really early, and I was actually up really late. But I knew if I didn't get this done now, I wouldn't get it done. Okay, this is the D-Live page. Well, if your cat starts jumping up and down doing flips, you'll know that it got prayed for too. Woohoo! Okay, this is the D-Live page. That's the link right there. You can see some of the people I follow over here. Some of them I probably need to go through. I haven't been through them in a while, but what was it? Oh yeah, replays on the PC version. If you come down here to the, well, it starts out right here. It'll be an about section, and there's about videos. I don't have any videos uploaded yet because just quite a few replays. And you can just click on a replay down here. And I don't know if you get the option to download it or not. I really don't, because you can't delete it. And that may be something that I've been telling people wrong for a long time. But if you want I download it to a file. Some of them when I really like them, some of them I don't. But if you send me an email, if there's one you would like to have on a file, I'll download it and figure out a way to get it to you. I did one last night. It was called A Different Kind of Stream. And it's like when I start the streams at D-Live, I think last night I actually used a... I used a Five Finger Death Punch song. Blue on Black, the Kenny Wayne Shepherd. If you listen to the words, it fits. So, John Hart Crane, man, I have not seen you since you left Mississippi. Oh, I haven't heard from you. I almost thought about hollering at you yesterday. And with everything going on, it slipped my mind. But man, it's so good to see you. Brother. Glad you made it. Okay. Anyway, we play the full intros when we come on. That way everybody has 4 or 5 minutes to get in. And when I get to humanity, in my opinion, I've never been... Well, I've got a microphone on. Anyway, if you haven't tried D-Live in a while, over the last 2 days, they made a lot of improvements. Too many Quinky Dinks. Good to see you too, brother, at work. Don Teletron won't let you chat. Okay, now, I used to have people that couldn't chat at D-Live. I had like members only on chat or something. All that's been turned off. I had somebody else that couldn't chat. So, and it looks like I'm starting to buffer a little bit. So if I just cut out on y'all, have a great day. The stream's over anyway. I lost a few frames. Plane spotting. Hey, I don't know if you caught it. Too many Quinky Dinks. I caught one this morning. Belly dumping and turning it off and on. I jumped out with no tripod and it's shaky, but I got a chemtrail video up. Okay, anyway, this was a video I done last night where I talked a lot about suicide with teenagers, with veterans, and what I think maybe some of the answers could be. The only answer I really have is on an individual basis, be the change. When you see somebody, don't turn away from them. When you see them sitting down on the ground, you know, odds are 6 out of 10 of them are veterans. And it don't matter if they're a veteran or not. We should still sit down and try to find out what's wrong. And if any way we can help, try to help. That's how we be the change, one person at a time. If one person, let me see something. I don't know the numbers. I don't never look at them. Says 42 concurrent viewers. Okay, 42 concurrent viewers, and that number will bounce around 37, 42. Anyway, let's go with 40. It's a good round number, and my math skills have not been great today. If 40 people helped 40 people tomorrow, and then those 80 people helped 80 people the next day, it wouldn't take long. The population of the world would be reached. If Bill Gates really cared about humanity, he could fix that situation with the billions of dollars that he's fixing to spend on vaccinations. That ought to tell you right there, it's not about helping people, it's not about saving lives, it's about sticking that genetically modified organism into everybody's arm. Oh. Radical Life, Rare Breeds, Lynette, Sharp and Twisted Betty Sue, Radical Life, Don Tedaton, Too Many Quickie Dinks, Who Needs a Tripod? I have to have one to get a good... Look, my wife was with me, I had to get her to turn the truck off. I was using the truck to steady the camera, and it don't run super, it shakes a little bit, and that's what I'm going, turn the truck off. I couldn't, it shook the camera so bad. Oh, Believe, Larry K, Love Pugs, Rare Breeds, John Hart Crane, Cinder Loner, all of you guys, it's just awesome. I know there was so many up there. T. Luke, Kirk, Big Ash Mo, Don't Vax Me Bro, Leah Nebbles, I think I'm saying that right, Cinder Loner, OU812, Boo and Little, Radical Life, Atom Bomb, Captain Rankin, Hoop D's 27, YouTube Sucks, Furious Cabbage, T. Luke, Acute 33. Much love to all you guys. Data Junkie, Carrie Mara, Ann Walsworth, System of Control. All of you guys, much love to you all. And you remember something. I love you. Miss Fallout loves you. And God loves you. And all he wants from you is for you to love him, love your neighbor, and love yourself. If you do those 3 things, everything else will fall in line. Everybody have a great night, everybody. Hope to see you again tomorrow. And we're out.